for a master's degree in Australia, in which I did forest economics. I came back in 1991, and I was posted to Kitui as a general manager of a social forest training project, a big project which was the training farmers in the dry land on adoption and growing of trees, starting from nursery, management of these trees. This was an area which is an uncharted area which we had not really explored as a research area in this country, and I started dry land research program for this country, and our excellent pilot site in Tiva is, let me say, I can say now, is one of the, I don't know anywhere else in globe where such large volume of experiments on dry land technologies have ever been tested. In that particular Tiva, we have screened 74 species from this country and other countries, their suitability to be grown in Kenya for purposes of commercial, for purposes of conservation, and other purposes. They are from the current African countries, Australia, and even different parts of this country. From there, we have also done the second picking up of the best performers, 12 out of that. And out of that 12, we have already, we started narrowing on Melia volcansi, which is a timber species for dry land. And from that, we have gone to selection from across the country, genotypes we have, and get the best performing, and we are now having and moving to the second generation of breeding in Tiva. We have already put another 4 species in pipeline. These are Terminalia brownie, Tamarinda syndica. These are the species now we have put in the pipeline of breeding, improving, to ensure that the dry land also get their species, as we have cypress, eucalyptus, and others which are already performing in the high potential areas. So that's how I say I was the backbone of the dry land research in this country through that very comprehensive research activities which was undertaken in Kitui. From there, I went for my PhD program in 2003, not 2003, 1999. I returned in 2003, and I was posted to Londiani. In Londiani, as usual, I started very comprehensive establishment of seed sources for high potential areas and improvement of these seed sources. Also, reviews of long-term experiments which were started in 1932 up to this time to see which species are suitable for us to continue to preserve as potential species fallback in case we have problem on our key species. So from there now we have brought in also other species to increase our stock for plantation purposes. As I said, I also continued with emphasizing or specializing in areas of markets and trade for forest products. Because I said in the first place I did with cost-benefit analysis, most of comparative land uses, trying to compare forestry enterprises with others. Now I looked at, for people to put money into their pockets, they should have markets for these products. And I found there was a very big gap in research in markets and trade. So from 1999, I started picking up in my PhDs. That was a key part of my studies, which really strengthened my position in studies of markets and trade of forest products in this country. And but from the other operational issues, I completed my tour of duty in 2014 when I was promoted to become Deputy Director in charge of Socioeconomics and Policy in the headquarters. In the headquarters, I've worked there from 2014 up to 2019, 2018, in charge of socioeconomics, in which I mobilized. I had 13 scientists at that time to undertake serious research in the area of policy, governance, and also socioeconomics, which I have told you earlier. And during that period, I can say, even if you go to the records, we have had the highest publication by everything ever done. So if you can go and look in your, and I was the leading publisher in both in journals, policy, and other documentation, and other scientists also. I was able to build the capacity of them to publish their research work for the public to get to know what money has been spent in this country and what products they have come out of it. Until 2018, I was promoted to act as a senior deputy director, but I continued also doing my socio-economic work up to the time I became the director in 2019. KEFRI held a competitive process to select a director, in which I became the winner, and I was appointed director on April 2019, 1st April 2019. And I entered into directorship with very, very key areas of interest. Key areas of interest is productivity of research in the institute, value for money. For all works done, it must be published to justify expenditure and ensure that whatever the public spends, that particular product comes to serve them. So every research work which has been done, which is done, I've already ensured that the thematic areas or regional directors and the scientists ensure that they are published and made to serve or to guide the forest sector development in this country. Also, prudent use of resources. It's one of my, this country doesn't have a lot of money, but if we use prudently the little money we have, we can do much to the public in this country. I've looked at also expanding land for research, in which I've worked very hard over that time, engaging with KFS. As we are speaking now, the board has already approved KEFRI to access almost 13,200 hectares. And as my daughter said earlier, during my tenure in Kitui, I also worked very hard to ensure that we get research land, and I got 1,050 hectares in Kitui Tiva until the title of KEFRI. And recently I've just got another 400 hectares through negotiated arrangement with the University of Nairobi, which makes us access more land to undertake our research, both in the highlands and the drylands.